Hello and welcome to today's reading. Today we are going to be discovering what divine direction is on its way to you from other dimensions. So to give you some background information, yesterday I had a pretty clear vision of my higher self sort of using their hands to manipulate my reality, and obviously my relationship with my higher self reflects my own ability to manipulate my reality for the better or for the worse. So the more I'm connected to and communicating with my higher self, the more influence I have on my reality, my surroundings, the things that's going on, the perceptions I have on the things that I don't have control over. So yeah, that was pretty much my inspiration to do this reading as far as directions from other dimensions. But other than that, I'm going to keep it pretty open and see what the cards really have to tell us today. And I'd like to put out the disclaimer that these messages that you'll be receiving today are from divine beings. We are only speaking to energy that is for the highest good. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Oracle and Tarot do not deem you to any realities that you don't resonate with. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to fear. We're really just here to get clear on the direction that our spirit team, your spirit team, is trying to push you in, and how to be more open to receiving that direction in your everyday life. So with that being said, I'm going to get straight into picking the piles for today. And yeah, we're going to see what the cards have to say. You're looking for divine direction from other dimensions. Thank you. I think we'll do 3 piles today. Okay, there we go. And so our 3 piles are Eagle, Dragonfly, and Dog. So I will leave you here for a moment to sit with the piles and bring your intention in. Call on your guides to lead you to the pile that has the messages for you, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. You chose number 1 with Eagle. And right off the bat, Spirit wants to say that you might be receiving direction and or information through the spirit of eagle. So you might see physical eagles in your reality. You might see them on t-shirts, you might see them on signs. The direction could present in many different ways. You might even just have a premonition or a vision of an eagle, but your spirit team could be communicating to you through eagle. We're going to pull some oracle cards for you, and then we will see what the tarot cards have to say. We're looking for divine direction for pile number 1. Thank you. Okay, and I'm just gonna shuffle the tarot deck for you. Okay. So let's see what the oracle cards have to say. It says animal, embrace your wild side. We have church, temple, or mosque, recognize your spiritual authority. Okay, and we have visions. Wow, okay. So I think I might have been right with as far as you receiving information or direction. It can definitely come to you through visions. That means that meditation could be important for you. Visualization, using your mind's eye, using your imagination as well could be very influencing for the direction that you might be receiving from spirit. We have animal here with another bird present. So if it's not just the eagle spirit, birds could be a very powerful messenger for you in your current life. And the direction that you could possibly be receiving is embracing your wild side. So you might be called to disregard your ideas of safety sometimes. Sometimes you might find yourself secure enough to make a wild or less thought out than previously thought out decision. You might just be able to find yourself doing things, taking actions that feel wild to you. And I'm feeling like a sense of liberation, like as if the eagle were to fly and soar wherever they want to. You find this sense of liberation by embracing your wild side. We also have recognize your spiritual authority, which I think is an important direction in the sense of, like, in the beginning of this reading I was explaining that the reason I'm doing this reading is I had a visualization of my own higher self reaching down into my life and affecting my reality, and my relationship to my higher self is my own inherent ability to affect my own reality. So realizing that whatever guides or whatever however you regard spirituality, however you regard spirit itself, as if it's this holy thing that's outside of you and you must pray to, it's important to regard yourself as just as holy and just as spiritual as whoever it is, whatever it is that you do send your prayers and wishes to. You have the spiritual authority to manipulate your reality by creating these relationships with your higher self, with spirit. And again, we're just highlighting over here that spending time mentally with spirit, spending time mentally with your spirit team, can help you envision more clearly what it is you want to manifest, and having specifics behind your manifestations, behind the direction you are trying to go in your life. Spending time getting clear on what it is you really want it to look like is what's going to make that path so much clearer for you, and make these messages so much louder for you, is when you really spend time involving yourself and creating a relationship with what it is you want to manifest, what it is you want to work forwards towards. We are going to get into your tarot cards. So we have the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Fool. Very interesting. Okay, so the Nine of Cups over here. Okay, so really all of these cards, but I'm going to start over here and go along the line. But the Nine of Cups is the first message of wish fulfillment. So I'm being called to share with you the idea that spirit would never put a vision in your heart or in your mind's eye and then not fulfill it. So really the direction that you're being kind of given right now is to seek out those wildest desires. Seek out the things that you have deemed to be fantasy or unrealistic. Start terming them as realistic for you. Start widening your perception as far as the things that you tell yourself are just too far out there are actually well within your grasp and very much a possible reality for you. Creating that relationship and not letting it feel so far away is what's going to make these wishes feel so tangible and so true and so close to you. So the Nine of Cups is showing you wish fulfillment, but also creating this loving relationship with what it is you desire, with where you hope this direction to end up. It could be your physical reality. I'm hearing a lot of like a destination or a home, a place where you feel at home, a place where you feel safe. Creating again just this relationship with what it is you desire and not making it seem like something you have to put away at some part of your life. Make it more of a part of your everyday life, and creating this time within your life to envision what it is you're working towards, and envision even the emotional landscape that you're working towards as well. With the Eight of Pentacles, we have this sort of doubling up on the wish fulfillment, this nurturing. You have the ability to plant seeds and then see the fulfillment of their growth. You see the fruits coming forth from the seeds that you are planting. Starting this relationship is going to turn into a sort of relationship that is reciprocal. You feed into it and it feeds you back. It's like starting a garden. You plant the seeds, you water the seeds, you tend to your garden, and then at the end of the season you're able to harvest what it is that will feed you through the winter. And again, this could be a physical lifestyle that you are manifesting, but I'm also just really strongly feeling this relationship with spirit, this relationship with your emotions that you are tending to and creating this relationship with, of embracing the wild side. It seems like maybe these beliefs or this side of spirituality hasn't always been the easiest to believe, but you are embracing the things that you have. Again, it's almost like you've been taught not to believe in them. You've been taught to diminish them or make them seem smaller than what they are, but you are starting to empower your ability to envision the future, to envision the reality of what life is, the reality of spiritual connection. The Seven of Swords is showing you this liberation once again that you receive from creating and tending to this relationship. When you create this relationship, when you tend to it and you give it care and nourishment, you find yourself amongst the swords that have been thrown to still feel liberated. You recognize that the suffering that is true for this dimension that you do live in is a necessary part of it. It's not so much something that is hurting you, it's just near you. But it's no longer so personal, I guess, is what I'm hearing. You're able to still walk forward. You're still able, you don't feel immobilized anymore. The direction that you're receiving is able to push you forward, and you accept your path, you accept your forward movement, and you feel embraced by spirit, is what I heard, but also enriched. You feel empowered to go forward, no longer trying to hide from the truth of your existence. You're no longer trying to hide from the reality of what it is that makes your life so rich and so empowering and so beautiful. You're finding a lot of truths that make you feel so liberated to where it's just not personal anymore. You are connected to things and to energies that allow you detachment from these swords that are down here. The direction that you're receiving is the ability to detach from these swords and realize that they're not impaling you. It was probably a close call, but you are still alive. You are still here. They may have harmed you or cut you, but you're still breathing. You're still here. You're still learning. You're still on this path in which you are receiving direction on. You still have the ability to embrace liberation and your wild side and the spirit of the eagle to fly forward and to explore what's next, what else is there, what's left to find. And what you are finding is this landscape, this emotional and even physical landscape of true liberation. You discover the soul. You discover the ability to exist without judgment. You discover the ability to trust your own discernment, to actually channel visions from the sun itself, and you feel like your life is completely and entirely divinely led. You don't fear taking any steps because you know each step is taken with the trust of the divine. This is really incredible, pile number one, because again, with this reading regarding divine direction from other dimensions, really your direction is just trusting that you are moving forward. Your direction is to move in a direction, is to no longer be immobilized by fear or doubt or worry. Everything that you want is coming true for you, and it's the only difference is your perception. The things that you wish for in life, you technically already have, is what spirit is saying. If it's a physical landscape, connecting with your future self and realizing that this reality is already true for you in some dimension or in some timeline. It is already true, and therefore it belongs to you already. You just have to go in that direction, and then you'll arrive there, instead of being immobilized in the beginning or feeling like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what steps to take in order for it to all come out right. Just knowing that all it's like forming a puzzle. If you don't place the pieces, you'll never have the whole picture. In order to get to where you like to be, these stars and rainbows that you daydream so often about, you have to start placing pieces that are going to help you see the whole picture. And that's also, I'm hearing, to embrace the abundance of multiple currencies. Embrace abundance in multiple currencies, so that, again, seeing the material landscape, so you're embracing material abundance, but also the emotional landscape, so you're embracing emotional abundance, you're embracing the abundance of having the perspectives that make you feel okay when it comes to considering your future or considering your reality, considering what it is that makes you feel liberated, what it is that makes you feel spiritually grounded and purposeful in this human experience. You are okay. You are finding purpose and reason, and embracing your wild side, embracing that you don't have to live this life perfectly. You just have to live it. You just have to experience it. There is no wrong way to live your life, but appreciating the many different currencies that abundance is coming to you. It could be an abundance of seeds. It could be an abundance of materials, whatever it is that you want to create. Your fertility starts with your mind space. Your fertility starts with, are you open to creating in an unorthodox way? Are you open to receiving and birthing your ideas in a way that you might not have considered before? Again, this is kind of like the path not taken. That's kind of what it's giving. It's almost like you have, you know, a few options in front of you, and you are here for direction, but the direction, and you probably already know this, you've probably already felt this in your own life, but you're kind of being directed to take the oblong path, or the one that gives you the most, I would say insecurity, but it's just odd to you. It just doesn't seem like the most normal or the most common path to take, so you kind of question it, and you don't really think you're capable of going, hard left or whatever. But the direction you're receiving is to follow the path that fulfills you, follow the path that makes you feel capable of these things. Do things in your everyday life that make you feel empowered. Start believing in magic again, because you can. Not believing in magic is just as much a choice as it is to believe in magic. It's really you taking the reins of your mental landscape, your emotional landscape, and interacting with the reality that supports your ideas and your connections to your life. So your direction from other dimensions is truly just leading you to connecting with the self and realizing you are on a path. You don't have to do anything perfectly. You just have to do something. You just have to live. You just have to experience and recognize the blessings and the abundance that are present in you experiencing what is available to you right now. You have total liberation, total ability to embrace this wild sense of living life in a way that you have no idea what you're supposed to do, because really all of the direction that you've gotten from this realm has kind of been misleading in the first place. So you are starting to rely on direction that you can't see and you can't necessarily prove to others, but that's not your job. Your job is to follow your visions. Your job is to listen to your heart, listen to your soul, listen to your higher self, listen to the direction you receive, and stop taking everyone else's jabs at your reality so personally. It does not define you. It does not change the reality of your situation. Only you do that with your perspective and the lights that you shine. If you focus on this abundance, if you focus on the things that you do know, the things that feel good to you, it's going to just continue to feel good when you allow your perceptions and your focus to stay on what it is that you know to be true. So that's all I'm seeing for you, pile number one. Thank you so much for being here. If you have a chance, please like the video if you did resonate with this message, and don't forget to subscribe. I will have a list of affirmations in the description box below if you're interested. Just check out the affirmations list for pile number one. But yeah, that's all I'm seeing for you. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hello, pile number two, and welcome to your reading. You picked number 27 with the dragonfly. So right off the bat, you might be receiving direction from dragonflies, whether you see them physically in your life, like a physical, actual dragonfly. You might see them on t-shirts, you might see images or plushies. You might receive direction from dragonflies in many different mediums, but paying attention and realizing when they are present could present as a message from your spirit team. We're going to start off with these oracle decks here. Thank you. And then we will get into the tarot in a minute. Going to shuffle the deck for you. Alrighty. So your oracle cards say shopping. It says pay attention to what energizes you. And key, seek no further, your aha moment is at hand. Okay. So far, some of the direction you might be receiving will be coming from the things that energize you, and this could be direction to reorganizing your schedule, your day-to-day life. I'm hearing if you get to the end of your day and you're just exhausted, or if you wake up in the morning and you're still not energized, you're not motivated to go and accomplish your day or do what you're here to do. There might be some direction here to restructure your life in a way that does energize you, and incorporating more activities that do energize you into your everyday life. I'm hearing discipline is going to really support you right now, starting and creating new habits that do, again, energize you and support you and your mental and emotional healing and health. We also have dream travel, right? So if you're so exhausted when you get to the end of your night, you know, that you just like can't compute anymore, then you're more likely to be processing your day within your dreams. So your dreams could be really weird, they could be really stressful, they could have like things that don't really make sense but seem like they could have meaning, or even it's hard for you to remember in the morning. You could even be implementing a like dream journal into your everyday life. That could be really helpful. But the point is that when you restructure your life, or if you just continue to structure your life around what energizes you, when you get to go to sleep, you have the ability to, I was going to say control, but it's more of interact with your dream world more so than like be thrown different places. You're able to be calm in the dream space and even remember or travel intentionally within your dream space. You're able to sort of seek new bounds with your dream state. But again, this happens when you have your waking life energizes you, or your waking life supports you actually finding rest at night instead of recovering from exhaustion at night. Okay, there's like a big difference there is what I'm hearing. I'm going to get into your tarot cards. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Prince of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. So overall, I'm hearing that the direction coming from other dimensions for you is getting clear on your intentions and getting grounded in your intentions as well, being more intentional with your time every day. The dragonfly is able to fly in a very intentional way. It has like a very straightforward manner about it, whereas like if you watch butterflies, they kind of like jump all over the place. But the dragonfly is here to point out the benefits of being able to know exactly where you're going. Before you lift off from this blade of grass, you see that you're going here and that's where you're going to land. Or you have the ability to set a pace for yourself so that when you're in the air, you're able to make decisions or filter through and find discernment in where it is you would like to land. With the tarot cards, we have Eight of Pentacles, which is showing that you have a lot of dreams, whether they are nighttime dreams, daydreams. You have a very strong imagination. You have a very strong connection with your mental space, and that's why getting closer to what energizes you is so important, because if you're not intentional about where it is that you're flying to mentally and emotionally, you're going to find yourself landing in places that you don't necessarily want to be, or you don't necessarily benefit from being there. This is important for you, because again, your mental space kind of creates the ground for your physical life, for what it is you get to experience every day. If you're always exhausted because of your anxiety or your depression or your worry or your fears or doubts, etc., etc., if you're always depleted by negative thought, or even just the absence of trust, the absence of okayness, then you don't really have a lot of emotional room left over for exploration and for divine connection. It seems like you have the imagination. It feels like you're called towards like fantasy world. You like things like I can't think of what the show is called. Wow, I really can't think of it. But okay, so either way, you've always been sort of drawn to the mystical side of life, the magic of life, whether it's always in a show or a movie or books, or if you have like sort of that inclination towards the mystical side of life. You like myths, you like to hear stories, you like to know the history of humankind. But again, you've always had this sort of arm's length relationship with it, because somewhere in your mental space there's a large amount of space being taken up by doubt, or sort of the Western mind's ability to deem anything that doesn't have like physical proof as silly or unnecessary. So I say all of that to come back down to, you have this beautiful imagination that allows you to envision these things that feel extraterrestrial or based in a reality that you don't really know if it exists. Well, your aha moment is at hand, is telling you that everything that you've ever been able to envision is true. You just have this perception of other dimensions that, again, your human senses or other people's human senses can't really confirm or deny, but it's easier to deny them than to confirm them. So your direction is kind of showing you to start to appreciate this Eight of Pentacles card, start to appreciate your ability to see like these worlds that are present, these like the imagery here, this being a rose and circled by 8 pentacles, is kind of showing like these different dimensions, these different realities, these different ideas, even storylines, whatever it is that you spend your time envisioning, or you find yourself kind of like, I hear, maybe you write stories, or maybe you are a painter, whatever medium it is that you create some sort of life, you're like able to perceive the reality of these places. It's really, really cool. And I think that's why dream travel is important to you too, because you can explore them even more deeply if you have a mental space that is clear and it energizes you to find this exploration. If you get to explore your ideas, if you get to sit down and write your fictional book, You're able to perceive these things, these ideas, these possible realities and dimensions that not a lot of people have. It's like a narrow light and you're able to see right into it. The Three of Swords again is showing like these three, I'm seeing, issues or demons that you're fighting right now. And I'm not saying demon to scare anyone. You don't have an actual demon who's attacking you, but there is three entities within your mental space that are standing in the way of you being able to energize yourself and your creations and empower your visions, empower your ideas and imagination. There seems to be three either ideas or limiting beliefs, three things that stand in the way of you trusting yourself and creating in a way that unlocks like this just total other part of you, this total other part of your imagination. So the three things are going to be very specific. Maybe I'll pull a few cards to find out what those could possibly be, but that's what the Three of Swords is showing us, is that there's three things kind of stabbing straight into these ideas that you have. Again, it might be your fear, it might be that again, like habit of saying, oh no, that's silly, just put it away, or that's just a stupid kid thing I used to do. Whatever it might be, we'll get closer on what that could possibly be. But once you put these three things to rest, once you find a way to eliminate these things and paying attention to what energizes you, these are the three things that do not energize you, that actually suck on your energy and make you so exhausted at the end of your day. Once you put them to the side, or once you remove them from your emotional and mental landscape, you're able to come out on the other side as kind of like the champion of your own mind. The Prince of Pentacles it always gives me like Matador energy, especially with the bull back here on the hill. It seems like he doesn't really engage with the bull anymore. He's put the cape down. There's no more illusion. There's no more fear in his eyes. He simply lives for what he wants to do, and that's with his pentacles tucked into his heart. He's here to do what he wants to do. He's here to explore what he wants to explore. He no longer fears his ideas. He no longer fears where his life will take him, because he is empowered. And the bull and its horns are removed, or these three things have been removed from your mental landscape. You are empowered. You are the captain of your mental landscape. Like, I know I keep saying the same thing, but it's just a really empowering relationship with the self, where you get to walk away from the things that have kept you so busy that you couldn't explore your ideas and your internal environment, your internal realities. You know, it seems like you're a very creative person, and you're going to have a lot to explore, a lot to go shopping for within your mental space. You're going to have a lot of aha moments that it's like, oh, it's just like you're overpouring with these ideas. And then with the Ace of Pentacles, again, it shows you this just new relationship with yourself and with life. And you're free to create in any and every way possible. The ideas that you've kind of been getting like little droplets of, they come pouring in. You have this completely renewed vision of what it is you're here to do. What sorry, I'm getting a little excited. The Ace of Pentacles, especially supported by dream travel, it's like I can't even describe to you, because you're going to be discovering what it is and how deep it is, how important it is to you. No matter what I say right now, when you get to this point, it's going to feel 10 times more powerful than whatever words I use to describe it. So I'm gonna see if we can get some clarification on this Three of Swords. I'm going to use an oracle deck, though. I'm going to see what comes through. So let's see what Three Swords is piled to working around. What Three Swords is piled to working around. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So let's see. The first one we have is intuition. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. Okay, so pile number 2, it seems like based on your past, on your life, you've developed an inability to trust your intuition, and that's sort of what you're getting inklings of, is your intuition coming through ideas and through it's like you channel just these incredible ideas. Again, you could possibly draw or just have it's the idea that's there, but something in your life has told you to doubt your intuition or minimize it. And so the first sword that you'll be removing is doubting your intuition and replacing it with trusting it and being open to the possibilities of what it wants to bring you. The second sword that we have is reframe. This is happening for me, not to me. So, okay, the second one could possibly be a victim mindset or the struggle mindset, where you are reframing your mental landscape into one that serves you, into one that empowers you and shows you the opportunity. Everything that you've been through up until now is going to serve as a creative idea in your future. You might have been through some very tough tribulations in the past, but again, if you are a creative in any sense, in any medium, if you write books, if you paint, if you are raising a child, whatever it is, whatever medium you are creating in, it's being transformed and reframed into something you can use to pull from, and not as something that is holding you down like an anchor. It's no longer holding you back from your ideas. It in fact inspires you, because you're able to call out the experiences or the mindsets that made you suffer so much in life, and that's what frees you into trusting your ideas and your reality so much. The third sword that we're going to be discussing is worth. Oh, guys, I just want to give you a hug. It says, you have been worthy to belong to love all along, without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Wow. Okay, so on top of your intuition being trusted, and on top of your own mental space being given back to you, your worth is coming back. Your self-worth, your sense of self-worth is coming back. That's the three things that you're sort of pulling out of your heart center. You're pulling out of your idea center and removing, so that it can completely disappear, so that you can completely return to the self and to the soul, by admitting you are of love, by admitting that anything that is wrong with you, anything that you don't like about yourself, it is the outcome of someone else's suffering, someone who has been hurt you, and now it is time to heal and to reframe and to actually use your ideas and use your creative methods and even dream travel, your ideas, use your mind space to bring you back to a balanced state, bring you back to this Ace of Pentacles. Nothing can stop you. You only shine and you only radiate with pure light. You only have more and more ideas. You are here to create. You are here to travel. You are here to energize yourself. I am extremely excited for you, pile number 2. If you have the chance, please leave a comment down below on in a few months, if you want to come back and tell me what happens for you, because no matter what, this is going to be an extremely exciting exploration of the self. Who are you when your trauma doesn't exist? Who are you when you remove those swords and you're allowed to exist as you again? Who are you when you get clear on where you want to travel? Who are you when you are completely energized and no longer depleted? Again, this direction that you're receiving from other dimensions is support yourself in discovering a life that you want to live. Creating boundaries and relationships, and boundaries within those relationships that support what makes you feel good, what makes you feel encouraged, and what allows you to create without judgment and without fear. You're going to be completely energized when you restructure or just continue to structure your life around yourself and no longer the input of other people who have their own misconstrued views and values. It's all about you. It's all about your heart coming back home to the self. I'm so extremely excited for you, pile number 2. This is all I'm seeing for you, but you have an enormous amount of gifts available to you. I highly encourage you connecting and nurturing this relationship with the other dimensions, whoever it is you're receiving this from, your spirit team, your higher self, spirit itself, God if you practice religion. You're here to do something wonderful, and I'm blessed to be here, to be the one to tell you right now, or just another person who's going to tell you along your way. So if you're interested, please comment down below, or like the video if you have a chance, subscribe so you see other readings that I do share. And if you're interested, I'll have a list of affirmations just specifically for your pile in the description box. Just go to list of affirmations and pick pile number 2. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. Right off the bat, you chose number 14 with dog, so you could be receiving direction or messages from dogs. You might physically see dogs in your reality. You might see them on t-shirts or images. You might see trinkets or bumper stickers. You just try to pay attention to where you do see dogs and how it might relate to a specific direction that you could be getting urged to go in. We're going to start off with the Oracle deck today, and then we'll get into the tarot afterwards. Thank you. What direction is pile number 2 receiving? Alright, I'm just going to shuffle the tarot deck for you guys. Alrighty, let's see what the cards have for you. We have internet. It says, embrace the fact that you are the world. Very interesting. We also have fire. Take responsibility for your power. Okay, so I love the colors that are present. Embrace the fact that you are the world and take responsibility for your power. So I think that the direction that you're getting right here in the just off of these cards is to embrace the grandeur of your spirit. Embrace the ultimate size of the pool of energy you actually have access to and how you are spending it. What thoughts are you giving your energy into? We also have the hold. Okay, so yeah, when you're using that power, are you using it to feed your ego or to heal your spirit? That's kind of the two sides that we're seeing here, is that you're either acting mindlessly or you're acting intentionally. And I'm not saying you're doing one or the other. You might have a mix of both, but the direction you're receiving is to get clear on which one you are engaging with. I'm going to pull your tarot cards. We have 9 of Swords, 4 of Cups, the Empress, and the 2 of Cups. Wow. Okay, so we have quite a bit of healing on the table today. I'm just going to go from one side to the other, but starting over here, we have 9 of Swords. It seems like you've been through quite a traumatic experience. Your entire experience might have been traumatic. It seems like your foundation was poorly built, and even if you did have a healthy home or a strong roof, a strong shelter, it seems like there was always some condition where swords were raining from the sky and you were suffering at the hands of something or someone. And it caused you to distrust your environment. Not only is there a sword still stuck in your heart, but you fear that there are more to come. It seems like you don't feel empowered, you don't feel valued by the universe, you don't feel this sort of divine connection with life. You might feel like, I heard the word pet, you feel like a diminished existence of who you truly are. And I'm here to tell you that the fact that you feel so heartbroken, the fact that you feel let down by your life or your environment automatically tells you that you somewhere subconsciously do remember you are worth more. You are more, period. Not only that you are worth more, but that the world you live in deserves to live in a more complete and empowering way. So whatever stage you're currently in, the suffering that you've been through, it no longer, the direction you're receiving is that it will no longer have such a heavy effect on your reality. You will find the power available to you, and you will use it to remove those limiting beliefs from your life and realize you are not the sum of the people and the things and the situations that have hurt you. The universe, spirit is kind of showing you that you're allowed to heal within the arms of this matter. The direction you're being given is the space to feel held, the space to feel like you can properly grieve what's gone on. You can properly sit down, sip your water, sip your wine, do your coping mechanisms, and come back to neutral, come back to okay. Realize that those swords were thrown out of ego, and you would only be continuing the cycle if you were to pick up the sword and throw it again. You know you want to live within peace. You know you want to live with the peace of nature and the calmness of this Four of Cups card. Your issue right now might be discovering what the difference is here between Nine of Swords with chaos and Four of Cups with calmness. I'm going to tell you, and it might be hard to hear, but the difference is perspective, and that's why embrace the fact that you are the world is the connector of the two cards. It's going to be a shift in your perspective. This self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others, it's what's going to bring you out of that chaos and into calmness. Again, this is just the second step here. You're coming up from the depths of your worst fears and your worst worries and discovering your power. And when you find calmness with power, you result in the Empress. The world is over here tucked into the grass, just again highlighting, embracing the fact that you are the world. You are, I'm going to leave that message as it is. You are the world. Over here you have offerings being brought to you from the universe saying, here's this seed, here's this nourishment, here's what you need to come back to yourself, to feel resolved of your traumas, and to now feel empowered, to now find the power that you've always had and take responsibility for it and wield it in a way that empowers you and brings you everything that you desire. The first step, again, in calling in these manifestations is getting clear on why you desire them in the first place. Again, do you wish to pick up these swords and throw them at the person who threw them in the first place? Or do you wish to pick up the swords and remove them so that they may not be thrown again? Whew, that's a strong message, but the idea is that you are taking responsibility for your power. Either way, you have the power to pick up these swords once again. Either way, you have the power to find healing and grace and self-forgiveness. It's how you wield it in the future that will determine what your life looks like and what energy your life emanates. If you take the time to grieve, if you take the time to feel held by I'm hearing mother, by maternal energy within spirit, by, giving yourself the comfort, doing a meditation where you're able to revisit your inner child, to take them out of the house they were raised in, take them home with you and reclaim them instead of allowing them to continue to belong or exist in that reality. It's reclaiming the pieces of you that were lost to this trauma that didn't have anything to do with you in the first place. And then again, forgiving yourself, forgiving the people who did those things, because at the end of the day, they are part of the world that has hurt itself over and over again for centuries, but you are here to bring light back into this world. You are the world, so you are going to be healing yourself and healing the world at the same time. You are just sending out this ripple of, I am here to heal. Everyone is here to heal. Healing is happening instead of continuing to hurt and then hurting others. The best part about all of this, not only the healing that's coming to you and the amount of relaxation and the amount of peace that's being brought into your life. I'm seeing running water, just blue calmness. You feel okay. You feel grounded at some point. You feel reassured. But the best part about all of this is the Two of Cups, is that it all comes back into the message of love. You rediscover love with life. And if you're not discovering an actual partner in love, you could be discovering just this partnership with life, this partnership with existing, and the overabundance. You see flowers coming from everywhere. It's just like life is spurting in all these new ways. It's growing in all of these new beautiful blossoms, and you feel completely surrounded by your joy. You completely recover. You completely come out of the mindset that has held you in a state of fear. You completely recover. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Recovery is the ultimate message. Recovery is the ultimate direction that you are receiving right now from other dimensions. Your higher self, spirit itself, is telling you that recovery is where you are headed. And the choices that you make right now are going to be supporting your recovery, and what makes you able to get closer to your recovery that much quicker. Having the will to decide not to stab anyone again with this sword, but to lay it down so that it may not be used again. It's going to take a lot of will, and it's going to take a lot of forgiveness. You're going to feel a lot of anger and revenge anger, and that's okay. That's a natural part of grieving. But as long as you continue to go through the stages of grief, you'll find that even if you were to sink that sword back in the belly of whoever hurt you, it's not going to bring you the peace that you desire. You desire peace and love more than you desire revenge. And being clear and remembering to be responsible for that energy and that power is what's going to make you feel so much closer to divinity, so much closer to your purpose. It's like you can sniff out exactly what you want and then focus on it. It's like you're setting yourself sort of in a spiritual tunnel vision of exactly what you want, for the sake of not getting distracted by your anger or your seeking of revenge. You smell something you want, and you're going to track it until you find it, and then you're going to keep it. Okay, like a dog, you're going to keep it because that's your favorite bone. Whatever, you're finding it and you are keeping it, and you're respecting it so much that you are not willing to do anything emotionally or even physically that would cause you to forget where you buried this bone, or cause you to forget why you're seeking the bone in the first place. It's like once you get on your track, you're going to be on that track for the long haul. You don't have to worry anymore once you're able to step up out of this mindset, because again, it feels like there aren't any more swords being thrown. It feels like maybe toothpicks might be being flicked, but that's the reality of the human nature in today's world. But the idea, again, is the shift in perspective that allows you to no longer fear your environment, but to feel okay and peaceful. You might actually be moving or finding a place where you're able to feel this energy and sit within it. You might have to relocate. You might have to find a space where this feels possible. If it feels like you're stuck right here, something is going to have to change. If it's not internal, it might be external. But again, if this is the outcome of making that change, no matter how hard it is, it's going to be worth it. And I'm going to tell you again and again, it will be so worth it. Recovery is possible. Recovery is so worth it. This Two of Cups creates this reciprocal. You'll never be without again. You will always be full. You will always be overflowing with ideas and growth and healing, so much so that I feel like you're even finding a place in your life where you become the arms, you become the healer, you become so responsible for your power that you are now healing others. You are now holding space for others to do the same thing. This journey is so important for you because Once you make it out, once you make it through these steps, you heal, you find calmness, you find empowerment, you find the ability to create with your empowerment. You are now, again, because you are the world, sending your ripple out as if they are waves, and you are healing masses. You are creating content, you are creating classes, you're creating books, paintings, whatever it is, whatever medium you want it to be. You're creating a world or a something where someone else is now healing because of you. That's incredible. I have so much respect for you, and even if you feel like you don't deserve it, I know that you're accomplishing this in the future, so you deserve it right now. Even if I tell you I'm respecting this part of your journey, because that is your journey, I respect you now. I respect you for where you've been. This is an incredible message. You are an incredible person because this is your future, because this is your reality, and you recover from your reality. Not everyone does. Some people continue to throw swords, and some people continue to live in this chaos, and it's heartbreaking. It's so hard to see the people you love continue to choose chaos. Don't be that same person. Choose calmness so that when you get to this place and you're rooted in your healing, you're able to send it back down, and whoever's left in this chaos can also find their own healing. They can also find the responsibility of their own power, and you can send it down the line to the future generations and back up the line to the past and previous generations. Your ancestors are supporting this message. Your ancestors are telling you thank you already, because they too know this is who you are, this is where you're going, and this is going to benefit your line of your lineage in both directions. I mean, in so many generations that you can't even see. It can be 40 generations in both ways you're going to be affecting with this healing. You're breaking generational curses. That's what this is. This chaos over here, the habit of picking up swords and then continuing the line of trauma, you're breaking the generational curse. And I cannot say anything else but that I respect the hell out of you, because that is one of the hardest things that you could choose to do in this lifetime. But it is your path. This is the direction you're receiving from your higher dimensions. I'm so beyond proud of you for even being here and listening to this message. This is a lot, but you can hold it. You have the arms, you have the space, you can hold it. You can do it. Take it one day at a time. You don't have to heal in one day. You have a lifetime to have this effect on your lineage in both ways. And then again, it's not even just the A to B, the one line where you're in the center and that's your lineage, but also in every other way that you can imagine, because you are affecting everyone you come into contact with. When you shake a hand and it's a healed hand, the person who's shaking your hand receives that healing energy. You are only giving out healing energy, and that's just you're a wonderful, amazing person, and I can't help but say it over and over again. So this is all I'm seeing for you, pile number 3. I hope that you enjoyed this message. If you have the ability, please like the video and or subscribe to my channel so you can see what other readings I'm putting out. Also, if you're interested, I will have a list of affirmations regarding your pile specifically in the description box below. So go to list of affirmations and pick pile number 3. That will be the one for you. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You have so much to look forward to. I love you so much. See you later.